In 1832, the British Parliament voted a sum of £20,000 for public education. Today, this sum has risen to £700 million a year. By 1970, 1,000 million. Britain lives by her inventiveness and industry. Making what other countries want earns us well over £3,000 million a year. Competition is fierce. But as Sir Anthony Eden said when he was Prime Minister, the prizes will not go to the countries with the largest population. Those with the best systems of education will win. There are 7.5 million children at school in Britain. Every week, 10 new schools are opened. At this comprehensive school at Holland Park in London, there are 2,000 pupils, nearly half of them girls. Girls are at least a match for boys at school, and in some things, they're a good deal better. At this school, all the girls learn housecraft. This is a subject they can take in their GCE exams, their General Certificate of Education. The girls prepare a meal in the model kitchen, lay the table in the model flat, and then invite a member of the staff for lunch. Today, they've asked the headmaster. Entertaining in their own homes will hold no terrors for these girls, and cooking for a husband and family will be like, well, like being back at school. Sewing classes are naturally very popular. These girls are making summer dresses for themselves, or maybe something special for the school dance. It's not surprising that many firms are anxious to employ girls like these as home service advisors as soon as they leave school, and some will themselves become teachers. Education these days covers a lot more ground than the 3 R's. All the boys at this school pass through the workshops, and this decides many of them on careers as craftsmen, technicians, or technologists. In 1951, the Duke of Edinburgh said, "The nation's wealth and prosperity are governed by the rapid application of science to its industries." The man who applies science in industry is a technologist. Training technologists is one of the most vital tasks of education in Britain today. In this science sixth form, the pupils learn distillation. It's much easier to adopt new ideas and new techniques when the principles are already familiar. The spectroscope is much used in industry. Not enough of these boys will become scientists and technologists. In proportion to population, Britain now produces about the same number as America, but only half as many as Russia. Even fewer of the girls will become scientists. The thoughts of most turn towards marriage, and they seem to think that by aiming at science, they may miss a husband. Technical schools and colleges are expanding rapidly. A £160 million plan is in full swing. At the Battersea College of Advanced Technology, over 3,000 students attend full and part-time courses. Several hundred of these students are from overseas, mostly from Commonwealth countries. In the laboratory, they meet similar problems and equipment as they will find in industry. This absorption column is similar to one used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid, a substance used at some stage in the manufacture of practically all industrial products. This is a pulse extractor. Similar apparatus is used in atomic energy refining processes. These rippling liquid films are important in industrial plant. Sedimentation machines like this are used for the extraction of minerals from raw materials. The student has already used a simple spectroscope at school. A spectrum, we all know, is a rainbow, formed by refraction of sunlight in raindrops. Every substance has a different spectrum, and these differences can be measured. So the spectroscope is an invaluable instrument in chemical and physical analysis. But even future technologists can't work all the time. The coming down ball is always well attended, and the cabaret has been in rehearsal for months. The ball lasts all night, beginning at 11 p.m. and ending in time for breakfast. Before they get their diploma in technology, students must spend a year in industry. Stephen Lloyd Williams has done a year at Battersea, and now he's spending a year at an oil refinery before going back to Battersea for another 2 years' study. There's a lot to learn. These vast spheres hold butane sold as bottled gas. Butane is just one of numerous products refined from crude oil. This giant distiller works on exactly the same principle as the one he practiced on at school. But now, Stephen is troubleshooting. The distiller is using too much fuel, and he's been told to find out why. He collects the shift foreman from the control room, and they climb up onto the distiller. Stephen suspects that one of the heat exchangers has become faulty. This can be quickly checked by taking a temperature reading at either end. He was right. So, a reserve heat exchanger is brought into use and the faulty one removed to the workshops. Inside the heat exchanger is a bundle of tubes. A plate holding the tubes at one end is cut off. Now, the badly corroded tubes can be removed by a pneumatic hammer for cleaning. Stephen remembers his work on corrosion at Battersea. Corrosive action can be measured as a current. Stephen takes a sample from the badly corroded tubes. In the laboratory, they'll find out why the corrosion took place. This is a perfect use for the spectroscope. The sample is ground up fine, then placed between the poles of the arc. The spectrum given off by the powder is photographed and then analyzed. The results of this analysis could suggest tubes of a different metal being used to make up the new bundle. It all begins to add up. Spectroscopes, heat exchangers, distillation. Distillation, a simple principle he learned at school. But from the distillation of crude oil comes gas, petrol and diesel oil, insecticides and drugs, weed killers and nylon, detergents and film, candles and paint, wax for polishes, and bitumen for roads. Technology is the application of science in industry. Science shows us the way ahead. Industry sets our standard of living. The technologist is the link between the two, and the schools and colleges of today are forging that link.